Oh, hello everyone. Thanks for listening today. Today I'm going to be talking about what Hannah Arendt might have thought about Romeo Dallaire, even though she died in 1975 and the Rwanda genocide occurred in 1994. Given that Hannah Arendt died in 1975, nearly 2 decades before the 1994 Rwandan genocide that Romeo Dallaire commanded the UN force to monitor, she never commented on him directly. However, applying her political philosophy and her analysis of totalitarianism and evil provides a powerful lens through which to understand Dallaire's experiences and his later reflections. Here's a breakdown of what Arendt might have said based on her major concepts. On Dallaire's failure and the banality of indifference, banality of evil versus banality of indifference. Arendt famously wrote about the banality of evil based on her coverage of Adolf Eichmann, an unthinking bureaucrat who participated in genocide by just following orders. The horrors in Rwanda were far from banal, involving gruesome and personal violence. However, the international community's inaction can be seen through Hannah Arendt's lens as the banality of indifference, a political crime. The paralysis of the UN Security Council and the world's major powers was the result of a political failure rooted in indifference and the moral abdication of responsibility. Arendt might have argued that this was not a thoughtless evil in the way Eichmann's was, but a calculated political crime arising from a lack of will to act, the refusal to see. Arendt might have focused on the refusal of the international body, both UN officials and world leaders, to acknowledge that genocide was occurring. In her view, they were willfully unthinking and failed to face the brutal reality being reported by Dallaire. On Dallaire's individual responsibility and action. Thinking versus unthinking. In Eichmann and Jerusalem, Arendt stressed the moral necessity of thought, the inner dialogue that allows one to judge right from wrong. The tragedy of Eichmann was his thoughtlessness. Dallaire's torment stemmed from the very opposite, the lonely crowd. Dallaire, isolated and overwhelmed, was forced to make life-or-death decisions without the support or concerted action of others, which Arendt saw as a key source of political power. He acted courageously in a vacuum, a situation Arendt viewed as deeply dangerous and contrary to authentic political action. The weight of responsibility. Dallaire's moral injury or soul wound came from the burden of bearing the responsibility that others refused. His experience perfectly illustrates Arendt's argument that it is only through the practice of individual responsibility that people can become truly free individuals. Dallaire chose responsibility even when his superiors chose indifference, action in the public realm. For Arendt, genuine freedom and human dignity are found in the political action in the public realm, where citizens act in concert. Dallaire acted bravely, but within a framework designed to prevent meaningful action. His later advocacy for veterans and against child soldiers represents his return to the public realm to act and bear witness, a distinctly Arendtian form of political responsibility. On the nature of command and obedience, the soldier versus the bureaucrat. Arendt might have contrasted Dallaire's situation with that of Eichmann. Eichmann's crime lay in his unquestioning obedience as a bureaucrat. Dallaire's experience was one of a soldier whose military training and moral compass were pitted against the limitations imposed by a distant and a different bureaucracy, refusing just to follow orders. Arendt did not simply follow his limited mandate, but consistently pushed for a broader interpretation to protect civilians. This demonstrates the thinking that Arendt found lacking in figures like Eichmann. Dallaire's personal moral judgment overrode the bureaucratic imperative on the nature of modern warfare and the failure of humanity, totalitarianism versus civil war. Arendt primarily analyzed evil in the context of totalitarian regimes like Nazi Germany. Dallaire's experience of a modern civil war characterized by complex, very ambiguous situations that have exploded into mass atrocity reveals a different context for evil. Arendt might have noted how the traditional rules of warfare became irrelevant in this environment. Challenging our framework, the cry of the heart. Dallaire's account in Shake Hands with the Devil was described as a cry from the heart for the lives lost. Arendt might have seen this as a testament to the power of human conscience and memory to bear witness to evil, and through narrative create a lasting remembrance that compels future generations toward responsibility. Thanks for listening, everyone. I did a search using artificial intelligence to gather this information. Take care.